Hello everybody, today we are going to discuss about the universe creation and how come we are in this situation we are today. What happened in the past in such a manner, things evolved and we are in this current situation. Well, we have to approximate the universe more or less with the things we know already. And these things are that this universe, somehow we are appreciating it in a flat manner, which means this universe, we consider it to be flat. But my understanding is that this universe somehow behaves in a curved manner. Now, if we have time 1 second every second and space curved inside, something must have happened in the past when the situation was different. So what we consider it was the initial moment of the Big Bang, space and time were created. Now, how exactly can we create space out of nothing is somehow strange. Time, I consider to be just an evolution. If we evolve from no time to time 1 second every second, I'm willing to understand this. In the same manner, if we evolve from a flat space to a curved space, I'm also willing to understand this. But we have to see how this happens. Now, my understanding is that the universe is somehow like this. It is a sphere. No matter where we look into the universe, things are pretty much the same. If I am here and I look into this direction, or into this direction, or into this direction, I see pretty much the same amount of galaxies spread everywhere. And if I look farther away, after a certain point there is nothing there. It's just blank. It seems there is a wall. Or we cannot see beyond this point because we are looking back in time and we are getting close to the initial moment. But what was before that? We have to see it and we have to imagine it if there is no other way we can do it. So, my understanding is that if the universe was somehow in a flat environment with no time, there was an event which somehow triggered it and pushed it in this situation. Now, I'm going to use this, let's say, a metaphor in order to explain how this happens. And you are going to see it exactly. This is not how the universe was created, but somehow is in this manner. My understanding is that if we have, let's say, a civilization somewhere in this universe, and they have the capacity to make a nuclear bomb, which we know we can do it, this civilization can evolve at some point. And they say, let's do something strange, like this. Let's take a sphere and take us as an example and make a nuclear bomb this size. And they invest in research and development in such a way they reduce its size. And they eventually have the capacity to make one bomb of 1 millimeter. The first one. And they put it here outside, far away from their planet. And they evolve and they evolve, and they put one bomb near the other, filling the space. You have to assume there is no problem with quantity. This civilization expands, conquers other galaxies, like you see in science fiction movies, and they spread across the entire universe. Production continues, and they fill this space between galaxies with all these tiny little bombs, one near the other. Eventually, the entire universe is filled with this kind of small nuclear bombs, for no clear reason. Now, when everything is filled, there is nowhere to go. You cannot move anywhere. You already know everything. So what can you do? Just explode everything. Let's see what happens. Can you imagine that? If I have a sphere with billions and billions of tiny little bombs, one near the other, and I explode them all in the same time, what would happen? If this wall withstands a blast, what would happen? My understanding is this is how the universe got created. This is, if you want, a Big Bang, but it's in fact the sum of billions of billions of billions of small Big Bangs, all the same amount of power. What happens is, in this situation, flat space becomes curved. Let's see how. So, are going to play the movie very slowly in order to understand. What we need to understand is the first second of the creation of the universe. So, we are in an environment where it's only linear radiation. This moment. Linear radiation, and there is no time. And we have the cataclysmic power to make these explosions, one near the other, somehow very small in distance. What is small? We are in the area of subatomic level. If you want, this is the minimum sphere of mass. That amount of space is between these tiny little explosions. You have to imagine one near the other, exploding all at the same time in this giant sphere. So, in the first fraction of a second, I have an explosion curving linear radiation. A fraction of a second later, I have this explosion a little bigger, curving more from this linear radiation. By the way, we know that light has that ondulatory behavior. Although it travels in a line, it has that ondulatory behavior. Someone would ask why? Why, if line, it is traveling like line. Light, it is a line. Why is this happening? Well, because of this manner the universe got created, this is what gives to linear behavior such a curved manner. Also, the light still travels in a line, it follows a curved trajectory. We will see this later, how this happens. So, this explosion is a little bigger than this one. It's only a fraction of a second between them. Someone would ask, why is this a sphere? When we explode something in our world, it's not like this. If I have 1 kilogram of dynamite, which is this, and I explode it, it will look like a reverse sphere, something like this. And this is a dynamite, it will explode like this, in all directions, but not by a sphere. This happens because the environment is not homogeneous. There is movement of pressure of air, there are tiny little particles of dust not spread equally within this room. So if I explode this right now, it will not go perfectly in all directions. But this environment is perfect. Here is the same amount of radiation everywhere from density point of view. So if I explode, it will go like a sphere all the same time. And moment number 3, we have a problem. This sphere manages to reach the amount of space which is maximum according to the other sphere. The sphere, the explosion touch themselves. Now, radiation is curved to maximum. Now there is a problem. Beyond this point, what happens? What happens at moment number 4? This is the most important element. At this moment, you only have radiation, which behaves in a curved manner, but still it's radiation. So the question is, where is the mass? When mass gets created? Well, my understanding is, if this explosion is powerful enough, mass is created here. So if I have these explosions, in the moment they touch themselves, somehow they slide over each other. The explosion must go somewhere. Think about it. If I have this sphere exploding, and it's surrounded by all the other explosions in the same power, all exploding at the same time, the only thing that may happen is they will slide over each other indefinitely, like this. It will be a push here and here, and it will move this one over here. This one will be moved like this, by this movement, in a perfectly random manner. So all these spheres of explosion are going to collapse linear radiation into tiny little spheres. And these tiny little spheres are inside made of radiation, but they behave like mass. We know that we can turn mass into radiation and radiation into mass, but we need this situation. We can do this only in this situation. And this is what happens. Around 4 spheres, or 8 if you want, 8 explosions, we have one sphere of mass. And this is how mass gets created, and we have mass in this universe. There is another element which is important. Because of this movement, mass starts to move. If space would be flat, everything would be stopped. But because space is curved, this sphere starts to move. Think about it. If there is gravity, but the distance between these particles would be somehow higher, they will never see each other. They will never move. How do you know they have received this initial kick from the initial Big Bang? But what my understanding is that this movement, this subatomic movement, is still happening today. This explosion never stops. And at the subatomic level, there is this movement of the universe which pushes things around. And that is why we don't have any sphere of mass stopped. No matter where we look, nothing is stopped in this universe. Everything moves. And this is what moves these spheres. It is the subatomic level of the creation of the universe in the first fraction of a second. This is what I wanted to present, and I think I'm pretty close to reality. Someone may ask, okay, but there is a problem with Hubble, because Hubble tells us that the universe is expanding. Even Einstein went back from that. Well, let's see how this happens also. We are going to discuss it in detail some other time. Hubble tells us like this. If I am here, and I look into the universe, and I see a galaxy over here, I see it shifts to red, and there is a constant multiplied with the distance. If I see other galaxy which is farther away, and I apply the same amount of formula, this galaxy moves away. But we know that everything in this universe has a curved trajectory because of previous collisions and because of gravity, constituted or distributed. So what I have said that everything goes around and comes around, I have wanted to explain this behavior of the spheres. Everything moves into the universe based on this principle. So if I see something moving away, eventually after some point, it will come back. But it takes billions of years, or at least millions of years. Still, Hubble is somehow close to something. What we need to understand is how light behaves into this universe, and we have to explain how this light looking at us, although it appears to travel in a straight line, is not exactly like this. There is something that we are missing. I am pretty sure the universe is a sphere, but I have to explain this phenomenon from other point of view in such a way it will make sense. And we will see this next time. For now, this is what I wanted to present, and I think I am very close to reality. Feel free to hit it outside that explanation with Hubble, which I'm going to take it separately. Besides that, I think this is the way the universe got created. Once again, there are no lines in this universe. Lines are only here, only outside are lines in all directions. In this universe, there are no lines. If you show me one line in this universe, I give you everything you want. Here, everything is curved, and everything is made of spheres, and is a reverse spheres. These are the only two things that we have in this universe, and then there is another third element we are going to see it at some point. For now, this is what I wanted to say. Feel free to hit it and feedback me in if you can.